If you want to stop wasting your valuable time in the gym only to get mediocre results, and you finally want that physique that turns heads wherever you go, but most importantly, that physique that is a representation of who you are in your head and who you are, who you know you can become, keep watching this video. Training and dieting in the gym without results following is soul sucking. You're expending all this energy into the gym. You're really trying, you're really giving it a go. You really understand what hard work actually looks like, and you're going at it. But you look down and your current physique doesn't match the person that you know you can be. The physique you have for yourself envisioned in your head is not a reality. And you're essentially in a hamster wheel. You're living a lie. Your current reality does not match what you envision for yourself. But also, it's not your fault. The modern day has us operating at a very high functioning level. There's information overload. There's so many things to pay attention to, so much new information. Your to-do list has endless amount of check boxes. There's so many avenues in life to learn and get better in, which just adds on to the information overload. And then on top of this, especially fitness wise, there's so many contradicting statements. This person's saying follow that diet, don't do this, do that. This diet plan works, this training plan works, and it just leaves us in this confusion, never having a definite roadmap or solid way to go. And the thing is, if you don't change now, you're going to be stuck in this loop of looking for the next piece of information, in this loop of always looking just above average and never getting to that elite look that you know you can achieve, that you achieved in your head already, but your reality still does not match it. So I'm going to show you how to actually achieve this elite look, and you don't need steroids, peptides, or any of that bullshit going on online right now. And it all starts off with breaking yourself out of that cycle. So going onto the screen here I was in the same cycle that you're probably in right now. I was always falling short to elite level fitness results, kind of bouncing from thing to thing. During this time, I understood how to track macros. I was really serious in the gym. I was training hard 6 times a week. I was tracking everything I ate down to the macro, training every single rep, doing bulks and cut cycles. Like, I was really into this stuff, but my results showed otherwise. During this time, I knew what I could look like. I knew what I wanted to look like, that elite physique that everybody can. It doesn't take a genius to see, oh, that guy lifts, and that's what I wanted for so long. But as you can see, even this top right picture here, this was at my best, but honestly, that's a pretty shitty look. And on top of this, my life was all over the place. I had a business I was working on, a lot of hours being put into that. I had a trading account I was keeping up with. I had on top of that, going to the gym 6 times a week. And not even to mention, part-time jobs and day-to-day life. And kind of how I mentioned before, the information overload. Because you got to realize, throughout these sectors, these 3 different main sectors, there's so much information that goes into each of them. So many check boxes with each of them. And it gets chaotic, and it can snap you like that. And the results of trying to do all of this and not knowing how to go about it properly costed me everything, really. I was stressed out of my mind. The business failed after 2 years with all odds in my favor. I had proper funding, I had mentors, I had partners. It was just the perfect setup, but I failed. My physique was absolutely horrible, and you got to realize, this is after 3 years of consistent training hard in the gym 6 times a week. Everything you could possibly think about fitness. And then this is what I ended up selling my trading account for, my investment from this. And it was really heartbreaking, and it was a blow, and it stung. But the thing is, it wasn't like a knowledge problem or even a discipline problem. It's just, I was setting myself up for failure, and I didn't know how to go about it properly. I didn't know how to structure my life in a way to support what I really wanted and help myself achieve these goals. And after everything came crashing down, I began from ground zero again. But this time, after all that pain I faced and that suffering that was unnecessary, really, and I didn't have to go through that. I could have done it properly the first time and could have avoided all that and, maybe saved myself 3 years of my life. But it brought me to this point, and now it was time to do things properly. So despite life being crazier than ever, it was the worst living situation in my life. It was time to get things straight. So this is when I created and implemented and followed the Elite Life Fitness frameworks. And this just allowed me to obtain elite level fitness while also managing everything else in life and making sure that you have responsibilities that you can't shy away from in life. And I call it the Elite Life Fitness because it's not a fitness life. It's life with fitness in it. Fitness is not my life. It doesn't rule it. And I'm not in the mercy of fitness. I have full control over my own life and what goes on within it whilst having an elite physique. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And it all revolves around this Elite Life Fitness frameworks that's literally just 4 pillars. And it all starts with the elite mindset. So having unrelenting discipline, starting things to finish them, and most importantly, understanding who you're becoming in this whole transformation and getting an elite physique. Because you got to realize that you're not really achieving a goal here. You're not getting an elite physique. You're simply just becoming the person, the character that gets the elite physique as a byproduct. So this is kind of a representation of who I was before. So this person on the left-hand side is a completely different person to this person on the right-hand side. And it's not just physique. It's what separates these two is, like identities that they had with each other, their habits, their character traits, their beliefs, their worldviews, the day-to-day life, how it looked. Those are the things that really separate, who I was on this left-hand side versus who I was on this right-hand side. And the physique is just a perfect representation of what was going on in the head. It's like a physique is the epitome of change, because when you get in elite shape, you changing your mind in an elite way. And it's super difficult, but what it does to you mentally changes you for the rest of your life and how you go about your problems in the future. And this is why I emphasize starting with a physique, because it's elite physical change, which is the epitome of change, seeing yourself transform in the mirror. But having this elite mindset and understanding all of these bullet points here help you achieve this elite physique, because you realize that it's not just that you have to kind of destroy your old self. You have to destroy who you are right now. That who you are right now is a byproduct of the way you look. And in order to upgrade the way you look, you're gonna have to upgrade your mind, the way you think about the world, and really all these things right here. But once you understand and implement the elite mindset, you'll be en route to hitting that elite physique. And second to this, that's part of the Elite Life Fitness frameworks, is just a fail-proof setup, like setting your life up in a way that makes it impossible for you not to get in elite shape. So giving yourself a roadmap into where you're headed, defining goals. What does your current life have to look like in order to hit that elite physique? Understanding energy expenditure, understanding that you're entering a season in life and you're entering it with intent. Wherever you're headed, you have to formulate that, and that's part of this framework here. Like, imagine you plan on visiting a country to explore it completely. You step into it for a couple of hours and then decide, let's explore the next country. And then the next country, doing it all over again. You're never going to discover any country entirely with everything it has to offer. So how are you expecting to get elite level fitness results by just giving it a few weeks? You have to understand what you're getting yourself into and everything that comes with it. If you got to understand what the elite level fitness life looks like. Like, what is the day-to-day on getting an elite physique? How does that look? What do I have to do? And just getting all these inputs to then do for a certain amount of fixed time in order to get the end result byproduct. And it's as simply as that. And when we set ourselves up to not fail it just gives us the structure we need throughout the whole process and throughout the whole season of life to actually get our goal. And the thing is, we're doing it intentfully. We're not just leaving it up in the air. We're not hoping or wishing that we're going to get this end goal. We're really taking reality by the horns and moving it into where we want it to go. And that's essentially what we're doing in creating a fail-proof setup. So from there, following part of this frameworks again is just following a number-based fitness system. Because as much as I see numbers get hate online and people shy away from tracking and everything, I think it's just being fucking lazy, because numbers don't lie. If you're dealing with a number-based fitness system, it's going to tell you everything you need to know. You're making adjustments based off logical figures, tangible numbers, rather than emotion or arguments or worldviews. And numbers, they're binary. They don't think. They just are, and they're not going to lie. And it removes the guesswork and emotional decisions. I see many people like looking themselves in the mirror during while they're trying to achieve body transformation, and just because they don't like what they see, they change their plan overnight. And this is just change kind of that example we used before. You're just going from thing to thing. You're never going to accomplish a set in stone goal. And this number-based fitness system makes fitness entirely input-output, making adjustments on actual data rather than feeling. And it ensures surgical results. Like, imagine a surgeon opening you up and deciding from there what to do. Like, oh, I think we should take this route. Oh, let's sidetrack this way. Rather than going in there with actual data and reasoning on intent behind every single move, behind every single cut, there's an intent. And that's essentially what we do with our fitness. And this allows us to get guaranteed results every single time. And it takes away the guesswork. We don't have to worry. We don't have to question ourselves, because we know that following a number-based fitness system, that the numbers aren't going to lie. So all we simply do is observe the data. Think about it. Numbers isn't everything with fitness. The amount of reps you're doing, the amount of calories you're eating, your weight number on the scale, the number of calories you're eating. It all revolves around numbers fitness. So when we simplify it down, and I know I'm reiterating this, we're not going to fail, because you can't lie in numbers. But either way, with the last framework of this system is just life customization. After you do all these things and you get elite fitness results, not by accident, you become closer to the person you can be. Like, the person in here is becoming real, and it's no longer just in here, it's a reality, in the way you look. And at this life customization framework, that's when we were able to put life on maintenance. You can leave it aside and not have to worry about it so much. Elite level fitness results takes 80% to obtain and only 20% to maintain. And putting it aside, fitness aside, and everything that comes with it, being in the gym 6 times a week, tracking everything you eat, and really being serious about it, putting all that aside allows us to then focus on what's really important to us. And this time you're moving throughout life with more confidence in your character. You've proved to yourself you are the epitome of change. You've done it physically and with intention. It's not by accident. And this just gives you so much confidence moving forward in life, because you understand that you're able to apply this to anything. You can conquer anything you want to. You can make a real change in this world. And in life customization, after we do all the hard work and achieve the level of fitness that we want to achieve, we can just put it off to the side to then get all of our attention back and have our energy to then put into other areas of life. And it just makes us a goal achieving machine, and we can do whatever we want to in life. And like, for example, like right now at my current look, after working hard at getting here, it only takes 4 hours a week in the gym to maintain, and eating literally whatever I want at 3,300 calories, just hitting protein. And that's literally it. That's how fitness looks like in my life. And it's so simple. I don't really have to think about it so much on a daily basis. And now I have my energy, attention back to put to whatever. I can customize my life. I can eat specific diets based on, if I want to be more productive or if I want to prioritize health. Or if I want to even get into other hobbies, maybe martial art, maybe I want to learn the piano, whatever I want to do, I now have all the resources in my life to put towards that. And all of this while looking elite and having the backing to my character that I can do what I say I'm going to do. And literally just by following these elite fitness frameworks, you're not only going to achieve elite level fitness results, but you're going to go about your life differently. You're going to go about your goals differently. You're going to actually make real progress in this world. You're going to slowly become the person you envision yourself in your head. And it's no longer just going to be a thought or pretend. It's going to be very real, and you're going to essentially become who you are in here without spinning your wheels and without just being delusional and hoping and wishing that it comes true, because you now know how to go about your life and things properly, all whilst looking elite. This is just the foundation to everything. But it's important to get the elite physique, understanding all these frameworks and applying them. So after implementing these frameworks, 12 weeks later, I was dialed in with the results. And this is not by accident. Like I said earlier, all these are intentful. We're not wishing that anything's we're not leaving anything up in the air. But all of this just guaranteed that after 12 weeks, I went from this to this. And like I said, you can in life customization, if you want to go take it farther, you can. You know, I personally am rinse and repeating, but the thing is, I'm going to do it in the exact same way, and I have the structure to move forward in order and not veer off or not. I will never go back. This is my baseline, and I'll never go under this. But if everything I've been talking about sounds exactly what you've been needing at this current time, here's my offer to you. If you want to get under 14% body fat to finally be in elite shape and make that person you have in your head a reality and become closer to that person that you know you're becoming, that you know you can become, it's already up here. You just need to make it real and stop wishing or hoping that it's going to come. Book a call in the link below, and we can get that sorted. And my thing is, if you qualify and you don't get under 14% body fat in 12 weeks, you're not going to pay a penny, and I will work with you for free until you do. That's how confident I am in this system that I've created throughout, the worst point in my life that allowed me to get elite level fitness results even while being in the worst living situation of my life. This is the solution to all your not only fitness problems, but just the way you go about problems and achieving goals for the rest of your life. And once you do it once, you'll never need to do it again. But either way, guys, like I said, this is Gillies. Book a call down below if it's something you want to learn more about and something you would want me to help you with, and apply this completely to your life in order to achieve everlasting change. And yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up here. And everybody have a good one.